Hi everyone, my name is Nitish and I'm super excited to have Rashid with us today. He is Yellow.ai's Chief Product Officer. Welcome, Rashid.
Hey Nitish, super excited to be here today on this occasion of our inbox launch.
So for those of you who don't know about Yellow.ai, we are the world's leading conversational CX automation platform, helping automate enterprise business functions like HR, ITSM, conversational commerce, customer support, etc., across voice and text channels, serving over 1,000 plus customers. And with that brief introduction, we begin our today's session, where we'll be speaking about Yellow.ai's hot of the press product Inbox. So Rashid, let's cover the basics of this product first. Or what is Inbox and what was the vision behind it, and what would be your elevator pitch for such kind of a product?
Sure. So we just have two words to describe Inbox. We call it as a relationship manager for our enterprise customers. And the way to think about Inbox is very simple. We have this whole concept of AI plus humans as a part of our strategy. We believe that every conversation which comes in has to be aided through AI. And when the AI essentially needs to bring in that empathy of humans, that's when essentially just transfers that chat to a human agent. The human agents essentially use our Inbox to respond to those tickets coming in. It's an omni-channel help desk wherein messages and calls from various text and voice-based channels can come in a single view for the agents. And it's effectively helping them manage their relationships better with their end consumers is what we call it in the Inbox.
Got it. Understood. So, that's very interesting what you just said. You mentioned, something that Inbox is equal to a relationship manager. Could you just elaborate a bit on that and what benefit will our customers derive from that?
Absolutely. So when you look at the complete conversation and the experience of an end consumer, they go through various channels and various stakeholders to get their things done with the enterprise. What Inbox essentially does is brings all of that a journey of an end consumer into a single screen for an agent who is trying to resolve end user's query. Now, to be able to do that more effectively, one of the key things which we focus on is the agents, how fast they are able to respond and how easily they're able to find information when they're trying to respond to an end user query, right? So a lot of emphasis is on the speed and the finding the right information without doing a lot of manual handholding and manually finding information. So effectively, when we look at how to build a much better relationships with our end customers and with our end consumers, one of the key things over there is for any query coming in, how fast you're able to react to it and then provide the right information at the fastest time. And we have seen that playing a major role in building out great relationships with your end consumers, with you as a brand, Nitish.
So that's really insightful, Rashid. So, that actually brings me to my next question, that we understand that CSAT, which is a customer satisfaction score, that is the holy grail for all organizations, right? So how is Yellow.ai enabling these organizations to achieve superior or higher CSAT scores?
Yeah, so if you look at most support organizations and sales organizations, one of the metrics which the enterprises live and die by is the customer satisfaction. And one of the key things which we have done as a part of our Inbox, which one of our largest customers in Southeast Asia, they have seen, after deploying Inbox, they saw a 20% increase in their CSAT scores within 3 months of the Yellow deployment. And the secret sauce over there, essentially, I'll break down into two major things. One of the biggest problems which exist within the enterprise when it comes to customer satisfaction is the ability to find the right information at the right time. So that essentially we see a lot of siloed information available across different sources, right? So when an end consumer is coming asking a question, while our bot can resolve that and help you find the right answer, that increases your CSAT first quite a lot. Second, when a chat essentially transfers from a bot to a human agent who's using Inbox again to respond back to queries, we have baked in certain features just to make sure the agents are becoming more productive. So one of the key things for us, one of the things which the Inbox team cares really about is how agents perceive and use this platform. And there are certain attributes and certain features which you have rolled out to make sure they hit their high CSATs. Just to give an example, if a query is asked repeatedly, the platform automatically gives suggestions to the agent This is on the best response which has been used, where
Mm.
we have seen higher satisfaction scores. So in this case, the agents don't necessarily have to type out the whole query themselves, but rather it comes as a quick options. They select on it, and the response goes to the user. Apart from that, we also have enabled a mobile app for agents. So if they're on the move while on the go, or they're facing spotty internet on their laptop, they can also respond from their mobile phones with the app which we provide. So there's a huge focus on improving agent productivity. And when agent productivity essentially increases, your customers are much more satisfied because they're getting the right answers, they're getting very fast responses and very prompt responses across the clock. Right. All of this leads to having a much better end consumer experience. Yeah.
So Rashid, that what you just mentioned. So it seems that if you have happy customers, it actually means that you'll have happy employees also, and vice versa. So so that brings me to my next question. It happens that with improved CSAT scores, right? Organizations with literally are having their ears on the ground to understand what their customers would want. Customer feedback is essential for companies, right? So then, how has Yellow.ai incorporated feedback from the customers into developing a platform such as Inbox?
Yeah, so over the last few years, we have been working with great customers who have helped shape our vision and roadmap of what we do with Inbox. Currently, with Inbox, we're in the second version, so to say, of the product itself. The first version was just called support, and then we built out a completely new UI based on the feedback which we have been getting from our customers and partners who have been using this extensively. Now, there are multiple ways we listen to our customers and incorporate what their needs are. The first one essentially is we run something called as customer advisory boards, CAB, where we have select few customers across our segments from enterprise, from different verticals, and from different use cases to make sure we are essentially aligned and building out something which most of the customers want to essentially get a very generic view of what the product should look like. Second aspect of bringing in external feedback is we work a lot with third-party analysts, be it Gartner, Frost & Sullivan, and others, to showcase what is the kind of vision which you're building with our customers and the kind of product which you're trying to build in the space. So they play a big role in defining how and what the product does. The third, essentially, what we've also done is we have also brought in a lot of our customer agents into defining what the roadmap would look like. Because effectively today, Inbox, we're building out for the end agents. And we believe they're a very big stakeholder in how we make decisions, because essentially they're the people who use the product once it's built out. So we essentially have long working sessions with them to understand what a lot of their workflows are, what are they trying to achieve personally themselves, and have those incorporated as our day-to-day features as we kind of roll out. So just to give one example there, the whole idea of giving automatic suggestions came through one of the support agents who said that, we have more than 100 plus agents, but we have top 5 or 10 agents who essentially get Star of the Month award in their organizations because they essentially craft out messages really well. Now, why can't we use their knowledge to make sure all the agents are effectively responding that way? So that essentially triggered a thought into us where we thought we could bring in a more of a generative model, learn from the agent's responses and give those as suggestions. So we essentially follow like a 3-pronged approach in listening to our customers. One is through the CAB itself, second is through analysts, and third is through our actual agents who are using the product.
Got it. So, I mean, for the last point, you mentioned that, you took feedback from one of the customer agents. So the idea behind that was to have a more consistent messaging across the entire workforce, I would assume. Got it. Understood. So I think it's really safe to say that, Yellow.ai enacts on the feedback that we do get rather diligently, right? So that actually leads me to my next question. So the conversational AI platform space has over thousands of vendors in it, right? It's a pretty crowded space. So how is Yellow.ai differentiating itself from them? And more importantly, how is Inbox separate from other customer service desks or help desks that are there?
Yeah. So if you look at the number which you've quoted, there are more than 1,000 plus conversational platforms. And we believe there are certain things which we have done right to be able to achieve the place of a leader in this market. The first one, essentially, I'll start off with is with the kind of strategy which we have taken to solve end consumer problems. We believe it's not going to be all automation. It's not going to be only AI. It's not going to be only human. It'll be a combination of both AI plus humans to solve an end consumer problem. Now, once we take that down, there are certain things which we have put in our architecture when we started implementing the product. The first one was we were very sure that the platform has to be omnichannel. The experiences which you build for end consumers has to work across a channel like WhatsApp, going all the way to channel like Apple Business Chat, or even on website chat or mobile app chat. So it's very consistent. Second, we are the only platform in the domain where we bring in the expertise of chat and voice in a single platform across both automation as well as manual handling. Third is the ability to understand multiple languages. As a company which was born out of Bangalore with customers in Southeast Asia and Middle East and Europe, language essentially became a need for us to serve those markets. And the way we have architected our NLP platform, which has the ability to understand more than 100 plus languages, I think these are some things which we are essentially able to differentiate from a product standpoint. Apart from that, we have an amazing team which we have built out across sales, marketing, product engineering, our conversation studio, which helps in building out some of the greatest conversations. I think it's all just a combination of magic happening together to help us get into that leadership position. Is what we see, Nitish. Now, when it comes to how Inbox is different from all the other help desk tools out there, one of the things which we definitely believe is, and we talked very aggressively about, is that we told customers not to desk things. And there's a couple of ways which we have started differentiating ourselves in this space. First one of the things which we focus a lot on is how do we bring automation to an agent's life. As a platform which is automation first, we also want to ensure that agents are highly productive, and we work a lot on improving their productivity. And one of the snippets which we talked about today was agent suggestions, which essentially comes in automatically. That is a proof of agent automation. Apart from that, while we are automation-led platform, we essentially have given that power back to agent. So let's say if an agent feels that they need to invoke a workflow to find information or to do an end-to-end transaction. So let's say if agents wants to invoke the bot in between and help customer do that. So they can invariably bring in a bot whenever they want to find information or to get things done while in between an agent based conversation, right? And finally, what I would say is we are also surfacing, we as a platform, we collect a lot of information about end consumers from third-party systems. We integrate into our customers' premise. So it might be the CRM, it might be the ERP, it might be the order management system. Now, when an agent is talking to an end consumer, able to surface all the right context. So imagine if I was the agent for a leading airlines, I would be essentially be able to see your latest booking, which you have done with us on my same window. I'll be able to take action on it without ever leaving the Yellow.ai inbox interface. And this essentially helps in cutting down that context switching for end agents and hence improving their productivity. So I think there's some of the things which we have taken from our automation playbook applied to the agents. And that essentially is creating a big differentiator when we're going into this market with an inbox-like product.
Got it. So, I mean, those are some really good reviews that, we're getting from our customers. And, if I may add this as well, that, it's been our endeavor to keep customer centricity at the core while developing new products and features. So having said this, I'll just come on to the last question before I let you go. So what does the future of Inbox look like for us?
Future looks quite exciting. We're just going into our Q4 and then we're starting our roadmap planning for next year. One of the big things which we want to bring in is inbox apps and the whole ability to give the power to our enterprise builders, be it developer or non-developer based within the enterprise, to be able to build out custom apps on top of inbox. So just to give an example, if an agent needs to interface with Salesforce, CRM, they need to interface with a Jira help desk, and they need to interface with a SharePoint. Currently, each of this essentially is integrated separately into the platform. Now with inbox apps, developers can surface these apps for end agents very natively into their workflow. So the whole idea essentially becomes that how do we make inbox as the control center for agents when any consumer query comes in, and they don't need to leave inbox ever to perform any action on a third-party application.
Understood.
The second thing which we just launched is inbox ticketing, where we have enabled email-based conversations coming in as well. The idea essentially is to tie across chat, email, and voice together in a single platform. So, when an agent feels that, hey, the consumer might be more responsive on a WhatsApp, they can seamlessly take that email conversation to a WhatsApp very seamlessly. And the consumer essentially gets that whole context. Agent has the whole context. So we're working on some of those aspects. And finally, we're bringing in massive collaboration because as organizations grow and as agents are coming closer for solving a particular consumer query, there definitely needs an internal collaboration across different teams. So one of the big things on our roadmap for next year is to bring agent-based collaboration right into Inbox. Even for their internal communication, they can just do that through Inbox itself, Nitish.
Okay, that's quite a lot of the roadmap looks really strong then for Inbox in a way then. So Rashid, those are some really truly amazing insights on how Inbox was developed. What can Inbox do, and what does the future of Inbox look like? And for everyone, with that we come to a close of this engaging session. Thank you so much, Rashid, for taking out the time to do this. And we hope that this session has been useful and beneficial for the audience who's watching this. Should any of you have any queries or questions, please reach out to us at contact@yellow.ai, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.